Let the meeting come to order. I'd like to welcome everyone here today. Really a nice crowd, more than we usually have, so we're glad you're all here. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time we'll approve the agenda. Mr. Austin, what's your recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the agenda.
We have a motion, board.
I make the motion to approve.
We have a second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. At this time, Mr. Austin, have your superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have two items that I would like to ask the board to please consider in executive session. We have an early graduation request. And actually we have three, because I have an early graduation request plus two potential litigation matters. And so I'll ask the board to please consider those in executive session. Also, I have a little information up on the board today to show y'all. Every fall, Forbes magazine names America's best employers, and this is a national recognition. Obviously, Forbes magazine, they name businesses or employers from all over the country. They did a survey of 70,000 workers in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Participants were asked if they would recommend their employer to others, evaluate their employer, their compensation packages, potential for development, pride in the company's product and services. Our product is here with us today. We have several students here. That's our product, and we're very proud of that. The company image and more in the surveys were anonymous to encourage candor. So just to show you an idea or look at the top 20, there were, I think, 18 actually were listed for the state of Mississippi, and we were in the top 10. And also listed some of the other businesses that were there in the top Mississippi companies. And you'll see those are some name brand companies. Also, you'll see some universities listed there. And so for us to be mentioned on that list, it speaks volumes for our principals, assistant principals, as far as the type of culture that they build at the schools, and our central services team for the support that they provide. And so we're thankful that that our employees feel that way when they give information to other groups. So I just wanted to make our board aware of that. So it's good to always get that national recognition like that for all the hard work of our employees. And at this time, we have a special group of students with us. I asked if we could put all the chairs that we have in the boardroom today, and we still didn't have enough, obviously, because we've got a big group of students here with us. And the group here today is our Superintendent's Youth Leadership Council. Every year, we have a group of students, it's juniors and seniors. So every year we have new juniors coming in, and then our seniors are returning into the program. And we have students from every school. The number just depends on the number of applicants from that school, and then the scores on their applications, because they have to put in an application, and it's a pretty grueling process. They have to put a lot of information and have to be very creative with that. And so today we're honored to be able to recognize them, and we have got our two sponsors, Ms. Amy Benson and Mr. Jeff Shands. They're also assisted by Ms. Lucy Hassman and Ms. Amanda Samples, but Ms. Benson and Mr. Shands will be calling out names today, and they may also tell us a little bit more about the program. So if y'all can please come forward at this time.
Good morning, board. I'm glad to be here this morning. Thankful for the opportunity to introduce to you this year's Superintendent's Youth Leadership Council and for your support. We have a record number of students, over 70, I believe. And so they did a great job with the applications. We're excited to have them. I'm going to recognize the junior students. Ms. Benson will come and recognize our returning senior students. So we're going to call their names, and students, when we call your name, you'll come and receive your certificate from Mr. Usselton and then return to your seat. We have Emma Abrams, Braden Abston, Isabel Alonso, London Armstrong, Blake Deal, Fallon Benson, Caroline Boardwell, Anna Bridgeforth, Madison Cox, Wilson Crane, Addison Delo, Mary Abbott Flanagan, Reed Jacob, Lauren Gardner, Madeline Hall, Isabella Johnson, Kate Johnson, Diana Flores, Addison Kramer, Macy Martin, Pia Maschke, Elena McGowan, Paul Nguyen, Ali Novosad, Eden O'Brien. Bailey Overstreet. Madison Perryman. Mackenzie Perryman. Landon Robertson. Zion Rucker. Bailey Samples. Emily Shantz. Summer Simmons. Coulter Stackhouse. Michaela Stripling. Alea Turner. Liliana Velasquez. Halen Wallace. Lena Wilson. And John Albert Woolley. Those are our new junior members. Ms. Benson is going to come now, Ms. Amy Benson, and she will introduce our senior members.
Good morning. I'm going to introduce our senior members who joined us last year as juniors and have chosen to return this year and be our senior. Anna Ballard. Kendall Booker. Moxley Bowles. Zariah Bullock. Anna Chase. Abby Grace Cindy. Trinity Dockery, Eduardo Esperon, Marco Finley, Kate Bussell, Isabella Goss, Raul Beniguez, Tony Macklin, Awa Menga, Chandler Reagan, Lindsay Ruff, Mari Russell, Sarah Mill Russell, Ralston Sarton, Dexter Smith, Lily Thompson, Avery Wallace, Nicholas Warner, Morgan Williams, Jonathan Wiseman, Chris Wright, and Mariah Zinner.
Give all of our students a big round. Each year, we study on a cycle. We'll have entrepreneurship one year and government studies in the other year. And so last year was government. Many of our seniors went to Washington, D.C. With us. We had a wonderful time there. Took a lot of tours of museums and Capitol building and all kinds of places there. And so that was wonderful. And then this year we'll be studying entrepreneurship. And so Ms. Benson and Mr. Shands have speakers lined up that'll come in about every 3 or 4 weeks. They'll be studying local businesses. They'll hear about those. They'll be able to ask questions, and it'll help them. And then that way, when they go off to college and go into a career, if they go into one of those two activities, whether it be business or government, they'll have that background knowledge already. So for the parents who are here and family members in attendance, we appreciate your support of the program. We appreciate your support in DeSoto County Schools, and we look forward to seeing all that our students accomplish this school year. At this time, we're going to take a picture, but since we have such a large group and we'll have a lot of parents want to take photos, they're going to take the photo out front in front of Central Services. And so y'all just meet out there. And then y'all are welcome to come back and stay for the rest of the board meeting if you want to, but if you don't want to come back, we understand. Thank y'all. A little variation there. Variation.
No.
Yes, sir. Yes, boss. Really? All
That's on. It's gonna tell Keith. Bad. Looks good.
Okay, next time we're gonna go ahead and any of them come back, they can just slip right on in. I'm sure many of them come back. At this time, I have the attorney report.
And I have nothing to report today.
That's good. Approval of the minutes. Board, do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I make the motion to approve the minutes from September 6, 2023 board meeting.
I have a second. Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Consent agenda A to S, F, S. Mr. Austin, what do you recommend?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. New business. Please. Notebook bids.
Yes, sir. We had a reverse auction conducted on September the 6th with notebook cards for the district, and 5 vendors were approved to participate. It's my recommendation to accept the lowest and best bid from CDWG.
Mr. Austin, what is your recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the lowest bid for the netbook cards.
Board, do we have a motion?
I make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Mr. Williams, we have, heating and air replacements at Lake Carmel Middle School.
Yes, sir. Bids were open on the 29th of August for partial HVAC replacement at Lake Point Middle School. 2 bids were submitted. My recommendation, accept the lowest and best bid from American Refrigeration.
Mr. Austin, your recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the bid for the partial HVAC replacement for Lake Ormond Middle School.
Board, do we have a motion?
Make the motion.
We have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Contract agreement with American Refrigeration for heat and air. Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir. Requesting permission from the board to enter into a contractual agreement with American Refrigeration Heating and Air Conditioning Company.
Mr. Austin, your recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve entering into a contractual agreement with American Refrigeration Heating and Air Conditioning Company.
Board, do we have a motion?
Make that motion.
We have a second, board.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Statement of revenue is raised. Morning.
Always smile, it's always good news. Revenue collections through July for the general funds are at $19,995,300. I know you are used to seeing them in like the 300 million range, but July is very small. It's 13% higher than FY23 revenues at $17,676,190. The increase of the 2.3 million in the revenues is due to increased valuation of the ad valorem and our increase in AEP. Our revenues for all funds are at $28,846,903. We're up 57% over last year, but that's actually only about $2 million, which, but anyway, that increase is only due to the fact that we had higher reimbursements for federal funds, for ESSER and things like that in July than we did last year. So that's really not a big deal. General fund expenditures through July are at $6,706,461. And we are 8% over FY23 expenditures at $6,214,336. Expenditures for all funds are at $7,395,063, and that increase is in line with the budget. We're trending about 2% lower. And if you think that's really low, because our payroll is typically about 24 million, we do not have July teacher payroll that goes in the last fiscal year because we accrued teachers' contracts go through that. So you don't really see teacher expenditures in July. Those will first start in August. So it'll be drastically different in August.
The combined balance sheet.
We need a vote, please.
Oh, we need to vote. Your recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the statement of revenue and expenditures for July 2023.
We have a motion, board.
I'll make that motion.
We have a second, board.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Now we'll move on to combined balance sheet.
The fund balance for all general funds is at $177,593,679. So we held steady. Last year's fund balance was at $176,937,945. The next several months will trend very closely to FY '23 until our ad valorem starts coming in January through April, and we'll see a larger increase at that point. But since ESSER is down to the bitter end, we are now back to normal. We're getting back to normal.
Ms. Austin, your recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend to the board to approve the combined balance sheet for July 2023.
Board, do we have a motion?
Make that motion.
We have a second, board.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Statement of cash flow.
July cash balance for district maintenance is at $164,839,424. That is 62% of all cash balances, which right now is at $266,603,507. Our amount invested with Smith Shellnut Regions Bank at the end of July is $47,777,518.
Mr. Austin, your recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the statement of cash flow for July 2023.
Board, do we have a motion?
I make the motion.
We have a second, board.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Certification of bank reconciliation.
All bank statements have been reconciled with no exceptions.
Mr. Austin, your recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the certification of bank reconciliations for July 2023.
Board, do we have a motion?
I make that motion.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Second, please. Oh,
Second,
I second.
thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Need a motion to consider the closing of this session to determine whether or not the hold. Well, you had so few on that list this year, Pam, I didn't know if you include you or not. Mr. Alexander, first name.
Yes, sir. Pages 1 through 4 are personnel recommendations. Pages 5 and 6 are personnel changes. Page 7 is a memo for myself on employees who have not been awarded a license at this time will receive provisional pay. Page 8 is an email from Coach Jenkins, our Director of Athletics, all paraprofessionals, one to work with the band at Lake Commerce High and the other to work with the band at Lewisburg High. Pages 9 and 10 is a request for additional pay from Ms. Carol Ingram, our Federal Programs Director, on South Haven High School employees to work as after-school special education tutors, no more than 19 and a half hours per week, and this would begin 9/22/23 and end on 5/22/24 at a rate of $30 per hour. Page 11 is a request for additional pay from Melissa Green, our Director of INSTIS, on an employee who will be the new INSTIS clerk at Oak Grove Central. They work up to 56 hours to cross-train before they actually begin. That would be on 9/22 and ending on 10/2. She'll be paid at the daily rate of pay, her current rate of pay. Page 12 is a request from Ms. Goss, our Director of Special Education, on an employee to tutor a special education student from DeSoto Central High School after hours beginning on 9/22 and go all the way through 5/31. It'd be up to 50 hours, the rate of $30 per hour.
Mr. Austin, your recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve personnel as presented.
Board, do we have a motion?
I make that motion.
Board, we have a second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Residency, Mr. Cole.
Yes, sir, I have items to discuss in executive session.
Thank you. I need a motion to consider the close of this session to determine whether or not the board,
Student discipline.
oh, okay, student discipline.
Mr. Chairman, we have student discipline matters to address in executive session.
Thank you. And we need to consider closing this session to determine whether or not the board should enter an executive session for the following matters. Student matters regarding early graduation, residence to appeal, student discipline, and potential litigation matters. We have a-
Motion.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Again, we need to vote. At this time, we will recess until September 28th at 12:30. Mr. Chase will come back and let you know if we're staying in executive session.